Hi everybody, this is Gene Joly from Musician's Friend. I'm here again today with Marcus Ryle, co-founder of Line 6. Marcus, in the first session, we talked about your history as a musician and your years of designing products for other companies. And you had the company Fast Forward Designs that you were basically guns for hire for Alesis and DigiDesign and Dynacord. But in the mid-90s, you decided to form your own company. And big change, and you also decided to get into the guitar market. And prior to that, it was all digital products, right? Digital audio, keyboards, and so forth, and all that. So those are two pretty big seminal events there. Tell us about that.
It was a great experience working for other companies. And when you think about all the things that happened in that decade, the amount of technology that became available to musicians was really powerful. And we were doing all kinds of digital signal processing and the tape recorders like ADAT and so on. You know, recording engineers, producers, keyboard players, songwriters, they were really having all the fun because suddenly now, right, push a single button on a keyboard, get any sound you want. You know, hard disk recording was coming into play, so plugins. You know, if you were starting to get into that early world, there was just incredible tools. And it just seemed to us that the guitar player was really being left behind. I mean, you could spend hours trying to get a guitar setup to get the sound that you want. And of course, if you didn't decide you want something completely different, it might be a whole nother set of pedals and amps and so on. And it just seemed that the guitar player could really take advantage of some new technology. But it really started as a research project. We were still very committed to consulting and working for other companies. But we thought, what if we could create software models of how distortion works, what happens in a vacuum tube in a guitar amp. Wouldn't it be great if we could make something like a guitar amp where you could have every sound imaginable all in one?
And for you to ask that question, you had to have DSP as an enabling technology, right?
Right.
You saw the power was coming along to be able to actually deliver on that.
Exactly. Yeah, you think today it's like you couldn't imagine something like an iPhone before there was enough power to be able to do those sorts of things. Probably another key point is a lot of the products we did with Alesis and with DigiDesign, you know, we'd be working with those companies in designing custom chips because there really weren't dedicated devices that were well suited for doing DSP for audio and things like that. So there was a commercially available chip that was pretty powerful that was becoming available at that time. So it's kind of a good convergence of what's possible technically and this real market need. And although I am just a lowly keyboard player and not a guitar player, you know, I've always loved guitar. I've worked with lots of guitar players. I feebly attempt a little bit, but certainly won't play in front of
So do many of us.
Yeah. Look, keyboard players are really just frustrated guitar players, right? I mean, we wish we really could play guitar, but you know, we manage okay on keyboards. So the research began, and when we really started making some progress, you know, we realized this could be really meaningful. And the thought of kind of controlling our own destiny at that point, and not that we had anything against working with other companies, but being able to be even closer connected with the customer and meeting their needs and evolving this on our own, we thought we were ready, and we launched the first modeling amp in 1996.
That was the Axis?
Axis 212.
Axis 212.
Yeah, in our little booth in Hall E at NAMM.
I remember the NAMM show. That was it was the buzz of the show. You know, absolutely.
Was
that 95, 96?
96, January 96.
Okay.
And we still had a little work to do. We didn't ship it till August of 96, but we did get it done.
That's pretty good. I know the ADAT was about a year and a half after.
Yeah,
it was,
the ADAT was a little late.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. So Line 6, there has to be a story behind where the name came from.
Well, it's funny during this whole research period. You know, when you're studying, you know, old Marshalls and so on, you want to capture the right distortion characteristics. Of course, you have to turn the amps up. This is before there were master volumes on tube amps and things. So there were periods of time in our office where we'd just be blasting guitar amps in order to do our measurements. This was all just a research project. And we thought it really makes sense at this stage that since we don't know what's going to happen with the research, we should keep it confidential. But that was going to be a little difficult if there's guitars blasting all the time in this little consulting office, if any of our clients were to come by. So Fast Forward Designs had 5 phone lines. So essentially the brand name didn't actually even start out as a brand name. It was really just a code word that if someone was coming to the office, the receptionist would get on the PA and nonchalantly announce, to one of us that there was a call on line 6, which of course didn't exist. And that was really just code to say, turn off the guitar amps for a little while. Yeah. Let's put that aside. And it was, obviously quite some time later before we actually had products, and it was time to name the brand. And we thought, well, why not line 6?
There you go. Very authentic. It comes from the roots there. Yes. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Thanks for being here for session 2. We'll pick it up next time, and Marcus is going to talk in detail about the first products from line 6. Thanks, everybody.